Hello and welcome back, and in this video we're going to be wrapping up our course by first populating everything that we need for the table view delegate and then running the entire app to see if we've got everything working as expected. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to first create a function that is going to help us swipe from the leading direction to mark an item completed or not complete. Okay, so we are simply going to say leading swipe action configuration for row at, which is a function defined inside or a function that is declared inside the table view delegate, and definition needs to be provided by the implementer who is implementing this delegate. Okay, now first thing we want to do is we want to first take the task view model dot task by index path dot row, basically to recognize which task we are operating on, and then we want to basically call a contextual action on it. So complete action, we're going to call this complete action UI contextual action, and contextual action takes a style, a title, and action handler itself. Okay, so the style that we want to basically apply is going to be normal. The title is going to depend upon the completed state of the task itself. If it is completed true, then we want to mark it not completed. Okay, we want to mark it opposite, and if it is not completed, then we want to mark it complete. Okay, so we want to show basically the title as complete. Now for the handler, first thing we're going to do is we're going to capture a weak reference to self, so by calling weak self, and this gives us a few things. For example, it gives us action. Okay, let's go ahead and let me go ahead and undo this. Okay, so let's do action, and we're gonna have a view, a current view, and completion handler. Okay, we're gonna have all these things basically, and we're gonna basically create a completion handler, which is going to be, so we're gonna first just say completion handler, and we're going to pass it as true, just marking that completion as true. But we want to basically first of all capture weak self as well. Now this guy can go inside a bracket, and we're going to capture the weak reference with weak self. Okay, and what we want to do is before calling this completion handler true, we want to actually mark the actual item as complete. Okay, and the way we can do that is by creating a separate function which is going to basically help us mark this complete. So we're going to simply say func complete task, and we're gonna say at index path. You're gonna get the task first, if the task is completed, then we're gonna play that animation. If it's marked completed, then we want to play the animation. So we want to basically take our animation view, first set its is hidden to false, and then we want to basically call the animation view dot play whenever this is this animation is completed. We want to basically call the animation view dot is hidden to whatever the value of finished state is. That way, if finished is true, that means our animation is done playing. We can actually just hide the celebration animation view so we can start to interact with our table view again. Okay, now we also want to make sure that we reload these table view cells. So table view dot reload rows at index path that's been passed in, and the animation is going to be automatic. Okay, we are also going to reload rows at index path dot subsequence index path with capital I, index path, there you go, dot subsequence from row in the section. So we want to basically animate our summary as well to update that. So we want to say row 0 in section 0, reload that with automatic animation. So we are reloading both the current cell that's being marked as true or basically completed or incompleted, and we are also basically reloading the new set of summary data. Okay, so this is our complete task, and we want to call this complete task right before we call our completion handler. So we're going to say complete task index path, and this is where we're going to capture the self reference, or reference for self, and it's defined weak. So whenever this particular weak controller goes out of the memory, the reference is already released for better memory management. Okay, now completed action or complete action is going to have a background color, and it's going to depend on the state of task being completed or not. First one is basically when the task is completed, we're gonna basically running opposite. So we want to mark it as not completed. So we're gonna put the background as system red, otherwise UI color dot system green. And I'm using system colors here because they actually tend to conform to basically the color changes or theme changes, the appearance whenever it goes from light to dark and dark to light. It's automatically adjusted because these system colors are defined to adjust and work for both appearance modes. Okay, now we're going to create a configuration out of this. So let configuration UI swipe action configuration with actions, and it takes multiple actions. You can define multiple swipe actions and put them in an array. In this case we only have one, so we're gonna pass ours with complete action. Okay, and we are going to call the configuration dot perform. Okay, so perform first action with full swipe as true. So whenever user swipes completely or near to the 75% of the row, more than 50% of the row, complete that action for the user by swiping it completely. Okay, swiping it full, and then marking that, running that action that we are trying to play. Okay, now with that configuration set, we are simply going to return this configuration. Okay, and this is basically going to help us mark these tasks complete and incomplete. So let's go ahead and run this. And what we should see is we should see a swipe gesture. So there we go. And we have our animation playing, and our task is marked completed. Our summary cell is also marked. But notice that at this point, we have summary cell also is ready to be marked, but we are not supporting that. So let's go ahead and remove that by putting a condition here. So what we want to do is we want to say can edit. So there's another function called can edit row at. Okay, and we want to say if the index path dot section is not equal to 0, then you can edit that particular row, otherwise you cannot. So essentially both delete operation and marking complete operation are not going to be available on the summary cell, but they are going to be available for the actual cell, okay, for the task cell. Now if you notice, right now we cannot swipe it for delete because that functionality is not available. So let's go ahead and add that functionality, and that is simple to add. Another function that is defined inside the table view delegate is called editing style, okay. And editing style, so editing style for, okay, so actually it's the commit one, commit for row at index. There we go. So basically this is a style which helps us detect whether the row is going in editing mode and what kind of editing style it's going under. So we're gonna put a guard statement, and we're gonna say if the editing style that this row is going under is delete, then continue forward, otherwise return from here, because we don't have a support for any other editing style, so we're just gonna leave if it's not delete. The other editing styles are basically move, sort, and stuff like that on the table view, but we are not supporting that. We are gonna take our task basically by fetching the task from the view model by passing the index path dot row, and we're gonna say view model dot delete the item that was given at the task, okay. And we want to reload our table view data, okay. So we want to make sure that we reload because we have deleted an item, and we want to remove that and make sure our data is refreshed, okay. So let's go ahead and try this out. We're gonna basically swipe and make sure that we actually delete item. Let's go ahead and add some. So I'm gonna add new task here, okay, and let's start with a date. Let's add another one. Watch DevTechie courses is due pretty soon as well, so I'm gonna add that. Okay, now let's go ahead and try out our operations. So we have we were successfully able to add an item, add two items as a matter of fact, and let's go ahead and mark them true and false and see if our animations are playing correctly or not. Let's go ahead and mark them incomplete. Okay, let's try this one more time. And then what we want to do is basically what we have marked as completed. Let's go ahead and delete that, and I'm gonna use the swipe, full swipe to do that. And let's go ahead and use the full swipe to mark this as completed as well. All right, with that we have actually completed this course, and you have actually successfully built a complete app from scratch using programmatic UI, learning all the various different techniques that help you build a production level code. So this app right here, you can take it to the App Store, submit it, and basically publish it out there. And once again, thank you for joining me in this journey to learn and build this together. And I will see you guys in another video course. Thank you.